Hi everyone, it's Jen on the go. Welcome back to this channel. In today's video, I'm going to address viewers who have reached out to me this week privately through email and Instagram asking me for more clarity on shopper deactivations. Also, I've had a lot of shoppers this week in particular state that they are at a 5-star, yet even at that 5-star rating, they have not been able to see any batches for days and weeks even. And something's happening with Instacart's new cancellation policy, and I want to make you guys aware. There are a lot of things that shoppers need to look out for right now, and we're going to go over all of those today, and we're going to start right now, so stay with me. Okay, let's go. This week alone, I received so many messages from Instacart shoppers stating they are at a 5-star rating, and even at that 5-star, they have not seen any batch whatsoever for days and days. Of course, every single one of these shoppers did the right thing, contacted chat support, only to get the runaround by chat support stating we will escalate your situation and make sure it gets into the right hands. I've had one shopper that I've been working with back and forth. He's been keeping me up to date with all of the communication he's had with Instacart, and they're just giving him the runaround and providing him no answer other than this shouldn't be happening and we're so sorry and it should be fixed and it's going to be fixed and this person from tech support is going to reach out to you. To no avail. So what they've been doing is stringing him along, giving him a little hope, only to have a hopeless situation. So unfortunately, all of the shoppers that have reached out to me this week, they are all located in California. So if you are in California and you are a shopper, please let everyone know in the comments below. Maybe if you know what's happening in your situation, in your area, because in my area, that isn't the case, but every area is different, and we know that. So I really feel bad for these shoppers who are frustrated and, again, getting nowhere with chat support. I can tell you this, though. Here is what is happening with Instacart. We all know that Instacart hired 500,000 shoppers, and on top of that, they are continuing to add hundreds of shoppers every single day. So there is a huge issue right now with oversaturation of shoppers. So unfortunately, the demand is not as high as the supply is. So there's not enough demand to meet all of these shoppers' needs. Secondly, is the new shoppers that are hired, they do receive access to the priority batches, meaning Instacart will throw them a line, throw them out some bait, and hook them in with the best batches so that they're stuck and they get used to receiving these batches. So this gives them staying power. So Instacart, again, gives the new shoppers access to the better batches. And then thirdly, there's the situation of the bots. And I know a lot of people aren't talking about these bots, but I know for sure they are still alive and well. They are being solicited every single day on all kinds of social media platforms. And in addition to the bots being solicited, there are so many shoppers who have left Instacart and now have purchased bots, and they are all over the place too. So it is no secret that the bots still exist, even though they are not being talked about. So between, again, the oversaturation of hiring, Instacart prioritizing the new shoppers to get these batches, and the bots, no wonder why. The shoppers who did reach out to me this week letting me know that this is happening, again, they are all at a 5-star rating and they are at a 0% cancellation rate. And it really is unfortunate when they start to second guess what they are doing. What are we doing wrong? We don't know what to do. They're desperate, like emotionally desperate. And it's hard to see and it's hard to watch because this could be any other shopper in any area at a moment's notice. One of the viewers, again, who I've been talking to all week, just trying to give them support and advice, anything I can do, even though I can't do much, stated to me, and this is so sad, I have been depressed the last couple of weeks because of not receiving any batches. But now I believe Instacart doesn't care about us. They overhire, between the overhiring and bots, just to name a few, I think it's time for me to move on and look for another way of income. And unfortunately, unless you are willing to get into the car and drive to a complete different city within your state, which that really is going to be what it's going to take, is to explore with a different honey hole, maybe you will find it. But that's exhausting too, and it's putting a lot of tread and miles on your car. But you need to be able to not be stuck and drive around to other locations just to experiment. And also, in the meantime, multi-app and find other sources of revenue. And if you are one of these individuals who is at a 5-star and not seeing batches, I would shut down your app for a minute. When I say shut down, I just mean don't access it. Just leave it alone and put your attention on other things and other situations and sources of income that will actually work for you, instead of putting all of your apples in the Instacart basket. Come back to it in a couple weeks and see if anything changes. Really, that's all you can do. And I also want to apologize to all of the shoppers who are feeling this anguish. And I know it's not my job to apologize, but it breaks my heart when I have grown men and women contacting me, desperate, saying, what can I do? This is my income. I don't know how I'm going to feed my family. I don't know what to do. It's hard. It's hard to hear it. And I just want to say I'm sorry, and let's just hope this turns around. And if it doesn't, it's okay. You're going to be okay. You just have to look for another source of income, and you will, I promise. Instacart is like those revolving doors that you see, one shopper in, one shopper out. It's like just always spinning. There's always 100 shoppers to replace the 10 shoppers that were just let go today. It's how the app works. So as shoppers, you want to make sure you are eliminating any risk whatsoever that could possibly threaten your account. If you are a veteran shopper, I'm sure you are already aware of all of the reasons you could be deactivated. And if you are a new shopper, you really need to be very attentive and pay close attention to all of the threats that could potentially get you kicked off before you even get going. So even for veteran shoppers, though, there are a couple of these you may not be aware of, so make sure you stick around. So we're going to go through these. The first one is, and I've talked about this before in a past video, but shoppers this week have been deactivated for failing the selfie check. I've said it before, and it is still happening. When Instacart asks you for that selfie, make sure you do not have your mask on. Also, make sure you're not wearing a hat. Make sure you are in a clear lighted area, because just when they catch you off guard, that's when you're like, oh, I'm going to quickly take a photo. It could get you into trouble. So I've actually had somebody email me stating, this is not happening to shoppers, but it is absolutely happening to shoppers. So I'm putting it out there again, just as a warning, just to be really careful. If you're not ready to take that photo because you open your app at 2 a.m. and you see that they want you to do a selfie, just shut the app down and wait till you are in perfect lighting. And again, don't wear the mask, because you don't want that to happen to you. Shoppers do end up getting their accounts back, but for one shopper that was deactivated this week, it took her 3 weeks to get her account back after not passing the selfie check, and the selfie was her. This is one that happened this week to a shopper who rated Instacart chat support at a 1-star. Seconds later, he was deactivated and actually received an email stating he was deactivated for a transactional issue. You might be saying to yourself, Instacart chat support does not have the authority to deactivate you. Actually, I talked to an Instacart chat support agent and about this very subject, and he stated, we are not allowed to deactivate shoppers, but do we do it? All the time. So my advice to everyone out there is, when you are talking to Instacart chat support, you would be as kind as possible. And then again, when you're asked to rate them, don't give them a 1-star. Just rate them and say something nice or put a smiley face. Do what you have to do. But again, eliminate your risk. It is not worth the risk of getting into it with chat support. They can and they will deactivate you for rating them at a 1-star. Don't do it. You heard it from me right here. Another reason why Instacart shoppers are being deactivated, and you might not even know about this one, it's the BOGO sales that are at your local grocery stores. A shopper was deactivated this week for adding on a free case of Coke, a 24-pack of Coke. It was buy one, get one free, hence the BOGO sale at the grocery store. So he added another case of Coke in. Here's what happens though. Here's the problem. And yes, it's probably the right moral thing to do, to reach out to the customer and say, hey, it's buy one, get one free, so I'm going to grab one for you. But if these customers don't have a loyalty card signed up on Instacart, meaning they didn't link their loyalty card to Instacart, they will not get that sale price. So it looks like these were added items onto the order. So you really have to pay attention to that. I once did the same thing. It was, I think, a Big Y ham, buy one, get one free. And I said, oh, I'm going to tell the customer that there's a ham I can grab for her for free. I did that, not realizing that she did not have her Big Y card, her loyalty card, hooked up on the app. So I asked the cashier, does she still get the sale? And she said no. And this was in the beginning before I knew better. So then I had to reach back out to the customer and say, I'm so sorry, scratch that. It's not buy one, get one free. So just be careful, because if I would have let that slide and not pay attention, she wouldn't have received that one for free. She would have been charged. Then I could have gotten a bad rating. But again, eliminate any risk. So if you're at the store and you see it's buy one, get one free, do not mention it to the customer. They are not there. They don't know about it. Yes, would it be beneficial to them? It would, but it's not worth them saving $4 for you to risk your account. So just don't do it. It's again, where there's risk, you eliminate the risk. Another deactivation reason that is happening more and more, and it happened this week to shoppers, they receive an email stating they were deactivated for a transaction report issue. And pretty much what this means is there was a problem with the order itself while it was being rung up. And you might ask how this can happen. It's actually one of the simplest way shoppers can make a mistake. And we've all done it. We've done the shop. We get to the checkout and we think, oh my gosh, now we can relax. But this is a time when you can't relax, because so many times a cashier can be distracted, or not even distracted, just simply make a numbers error when he or she is ringing up that order. And if you are the shopper and you're busy talking with the shopper behind you or the bagger or whatever, we've all done it. That's when mistakes happen. So this is not the time to let your guard down. When you are at that register, you just want to be completely focused on that order and make sure that cashier is ringing up every item correctly. And you can see what she's ringing, he or she is ringing up on the screen by looking at the screen as it's rung. And oftentimes, I swear it, probably like once a day, I'll say, can you go back a second and make sure, I want to make sure that rang up correctly. I'm always questioning the cashier and how they ring, because I'm paying attention. There have been many situations where cashiers overring or underring. So just, you can eliminate the risk by just paying so much attention. I used to be completely chatty at the register, and I stopped that. It's like I am a drill sergeant. I'm friendly, but you can tell I'm just focused on what I have to do so that I don't make a mistake. And it only takes 1 second to make a mistake. So don't let this happen to you. Eliminate that risk. Another way shoppers are getting deactivated is for soliciting customers through the app. And most of us would know not to do this, but basically a customer could catch you off guard and state, hey, you're a really great shopper. I would love for you to shop for me sometime, another time. And if you say, yeah, no problem, here's my cell phone number, that's what can get you into trouble. And this is exactly what happened to another shopper who was deactivated for this very reason. If this happens, there's no chance of you getting your account back. We know that it's against policy to solicit yourself on the Instacart platform. So if a customer ever asks you for your private cell phone, or if you shop on your own on another day, don't do it. Don't engage. You just simply state it's against Instacart's policy, and I work for Instacart as an independent contractor. So, depending on your verbiage, you have to be very careful when a customer does solicit you. And I've had that happen to me personally, where customers have said, I wish I could get you all the time. Could I hire you privately to shop? And I always state, it is not allowed. I am flattered, but I work for Instacart as an independent contractor, and that is against policy. But I'm sure every shopper will be just as great. You have to say that. So be really careful. This shopper didn't know. He didn't think he was doing anything wrong, but he was deactivated. So eliminate that risk too. And the last reason I want to talk about that is happening more and more to shoppers more frequently is, and I quote from Instacart, repeatedly requesting acknowledged orders to be canceled by customers or members of the care team for invalid reasons. So this is really on the rise. And about cancellations, I also want to state here that Instacart has apparently implemented a new policy that shoppers aren't even aware about, that if you cancel a batch, you are going to be penalized or punished for at least 24 hours, but it could be 24 to 48 hours. This is absolutely happening to shoppers as we speak every day. They are canceling their batches for too much snow or whatever the reason, but then they are being punished and locked out of their accounts for at least 24 hours, but it could likely be 24 to 48 hours. So unless you are threatened by a customer and feel unsafe, it is not worth the risk to cancel your batches. And I've talked about this in past videos that a lot of shoppers are taking triple batches and canceling one of those customers out. That will get you into trouble. Instacart, again, this is a new thing that they're doing. They are locking shoppers out of their accounts, and they're not being transparent about it either. There are articles that are starting to surface about this. I'm not quite sure of the reputable sources of these articles, but they are out there. But forget about the articles that are stating that this is happening. It is happening to shoppers who are experiencing this every single day, and it's getting worse. So again, unless you feel threatened by this customer, they are assaulting you verbally or bullying you or whatever, if you feel unsafe, then you contact Instacart chat support and say, I am not safe. I am being compromised. I don't feel safe. That is the only reason. But if it's for a reason, you know, I know emergencies happen, but unless it is a safety reason, you're likely to get locked out of your account for 24 hours. And again, they added this to the deactivation list for repeatedly canceling orders. They don't want shoppers to accept orders and cancel them. So again, I'm just giving you this information. Do with it what you want, but just understand that if you take a batch, unless there's an emergency, and 6 feet of snow doesn't count as an emergency, apparently. You really have to feel threatened for a safety issue for them to forgive it, and even then, will they? So there's a lot of debate about this, but this is on the rise. So just be very careful the next time you go to cancel a batch. I would highly consider don't take the batch if you don't want to see it through. That's my best advice for everybody. I know we all have cancellations. I have one as well, but moving forward, I'm going to instead think really hard before I accept the batch rather than cancel a batch. So giving you the information, definitely eliminate that risk. So these are the most recent reasons right now, what is happening with the cancellation rates and why shoppers are currently being deactivated. Again, for reasons that you might not have even thought of. But I do want to say this, that on this channel, there are so many hackers that leave comments every single day on every single one of the videos on this channel. I don't know if any of you have read them. It's not just my channel either. It's every single gig worker's channel that they are leaving comments on. These are predators looking for prey, and they are absolutely despicable. I'm going to read you an example of one of these comments that was left last night. And by the way, I report spam on every single one of these comments, and then I delete the user from this YouTube channel. But it doesn't matter because they get all of these avatars, and they probably have several hundreds of accounts. So it's really hard to stay on top of these comments. I do my best to try to delete them so it doesn't affect other shoppers and that you guys don't fall for one of these. But to give you an example of how hideous they are, here's what this last one said. Early on Tuesday morning, it was a blizzard and snowstorm, very dangerous weather. I delivered 30 minutes late. The customer did not want to hear it, and I said it was weather. Later that day, I got deactivated. I feel so bad, but thanks to my friend, blank blank, he recommended blank blank to me. And now I am back to work. This is just one example. They will use any kind of reason, and sometimes they'll even leave long little paragraphs stating what's happened. All comes down to thanks to this person. So if you ever see a comment like this, because I've had viewers on this channel say, hey, where can I get a hold of you? I can't physically monitor every single one of these, and I'm seeing them pop up as I'm doing this video. It's driving me crazy. I don't know what to do. These are predators, and they want you to contact them. So please just ignore them, and I will delete them as I see them. But first I report them to YouTube. So here's my point. When you're deactivated, it is so easy to feel vulnerable and emotional and upset. I see it every day to shoppers that reach out to me, devastated that this has happened to them. But the way to get your account back is not to use one of these hackers, because when you are deactivated, unless you are getting your own legal counsel, that's the only thing that I would recommend doing that you feel comfortable with. But please do not buy into any of these hackers and scammers. Again, these are predators just trying to rip you off, and don't fall for it. And just don't engage with them, because I will continue to delete them. So I definitely wanted to mention that. They're all over the channel and other people's channels as well. And if other YouTubers are watching this, they can relate. It's exhausting trying to delete all these comments. So anyway, I'm going to leave you guys with that. Please let me know in the comments below other reasons for deactivations that maybe other shoppers don't know about. I mean, we know the obvious ones that I didn't mention today, but there are others, and these are some of them. So please do what it takes to keep your account safe. And again, eliminate any risk that could potentially keep you from losing this gig, so that you can keep making as much money as you want. And to all of the shoppers who are not seeing batches, again, I'm sorry. I wish I had a fix for you. The only people that can fix this is Instacart, sorry. And they don't seem to be doing it. So we have to do what we have to do to survive. So stay strong, stay encouraged. I love you all. I hope everyone had a great week, and I will see you guys this Sunday. Thank you for liking these videos and subscribing to this channel. I appreciate you all. Have a great week. Stay safe. Bye.